Lisa DeHart here, 3 Minutes with a Maine Guide, and today we're going to talk about going into the woods and cutting your own setting pole. So this is a setting pole that I made last year. It's black spruce. My husband and I own a piece of land that's just like porcupine quills with these things. At the end of April 2026, just a couple weeks here, and the first weekend in May 2026, we're gonna take a group out there, spend the day, $200 for the day, and you keep the pole. So sign up for that at 3minutesmaineguide.com. So when you're going into the woods, bring the setting pole if you have one with you. You'd be surprised at how tall everything looks when it's still a tree. And then, unfortunately, you cut it down. It's like, well, that's not long enough. If you don't already have a setting pole, to put it up against and measure and go, okay, that's going to be good. And you're looking at, when you look up at that tree, you want it to be at least a foot taller than your setting pole. Just go a little bit tall, okay? Just make sure you go tall on the tree. Now, what I like to do is I like to start with a diameter that's just what my hand can close around. Just like that. That's going to be the thickest part for me. This is what I like. And then what I'll do is I'll taper it to both ends after that. This right here was the top of the tree, you guys, and I barely touched that. So that's another thing you got to keep in mind, because it ended up being a little bit thin, but I really don't care about that because the black spruce is just so strong, you guys. So strong, so flexible. So from the time, pretty much the time maple syrup season starts, okay, let's say like March, okay, early March, until the middle of June. When you cut these trees and score the bark, it's going to peel just like a banana. You're going to literally be able to do it with your fingers. So that's another reason why we're running it the weekends we're running it. And a bunch of people have asked how to get a hold of them. And look at the damn thing. It's impossible to ship, okay? So once you've got it cut, and you've got it, and you're going to shape it. It's if you have, for the branches, if you've got a nice pair of loppers, that's nice because you can get really close to the main part you're going to use for a pole for these little knots and stuff. So a nice pair of loppers is good. And then, honest to God, it's just a really nice draw shave. Okay, and maybe you don't need this, but it's nice towards the end if you have it, but you don't need it. Also, a little spoke shave, okay? So then when it comes to putting a metal tip on it, this is a plumbing part. This is an electrical conduit part. Honestly, once you've invested the time and run your hands down that a million times, turning a tree into a setting pole, you're going to walk through a hardware store and maybe you're not going to know it, but you're going to know it when you see it, the tip of your setting pole, okay? And then it's just a question of doing the little hand drill, putting the lag screw in there, and cutting the top off. So you've got a metal tip in there. So here's good old Jeff DeHart. When it comes to doing that, here's good old Jeff DeHart, and he's going to explain how to put the end onto the setting pole, because what you want to do, he's going to explain it in such a way where you're making the wood, and this has to be as smooth as possible, because if it's not, it'll catch on the bottom, it could flip your boat, things like that. But there's a way to do it rather than taking the metal off, which is 10 times harder and longer. There's a way to do it so that you're taking the wood off to meet the metal.
Okay, so when I'm fitting a collar onto a setting pole, I'll indent it a little bit, maybe a half to 3/4 of an inch. That much wood I want sticking out the bottom of it at the end of installing it. I'll come to the top of where it's going to hit, where it's going to come up to here. I'll make a mark. I'll take that mark and I'll draw completely around it, and then I'll take a hacksaw blade and cut in maybe a 1/16 of an inch, that entire mark. That way I've got a shoulder that I'm going to cut to. I'll cut this lower part with a draw shave or spoke shave or, some other cutting tool. Just shave it off until the collar fits on. When the collar fits on, I've got my my cut here. I'll take a chisel and I'll work my way up to that cut and flick a chip off. Work it up to that cut and flick a chip off. What I'm building here is a wood shoulder that this will go up and butt against. So instead of having that much metal sticking out, I'm going to have it butt up against, flush up against a wood shoulder. That way there's nothing for the rocks to grab.
So the days are warming up. Pretty soon we're going to be trekking through the woods making canoe gear, and it's going to be great. I'm Lisa DeHart, and you've just spent 3 minutes with the Maine Guide.